Mulholland Drive has been released on many formats, and today we're taking a look at 3 of them: DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K. We'll also take a look into the special features included on each release before we compare each film scan to see which release looks the best at home. I think there'll be some disagreements, honestly. Let's get into it. So I'm a huge David Lynch fan. I have all of his movies on DVD, and I recently decided I'm going to start upgrading these. So I've got the Mulholland Drive DVD here, which is actually the second DVD release. The original was released April 9th, 2002. It has Rita on the front. And as far as I can tell, there's no actual real differences on the actual movie. But I don't have that one, so I can't really compare. The one I have here was released September 2nd, 2003, and has Betty, or Diane, Naomi Watts on the front. If we open it up, it has a really cool insert here. I'll include a better picture of this while I'm talking about it, but it says Mulholland Drive, David Lynch's 10 clues to unlocking this thriller. Number 1, pay particular attention in the beginning of the film. At least 2 clues are revealed before the credits. Number 2, notice appearances of the red lampshade. Number 3, can you hear the title of the film that Adam Kesher is auditioning actresses for? Is it mentioned again? Number 4, an accident is a terrible event. Notice the location of the accident. Number 5, who gives a key and why? Number 6, notice the robe, the ashtray, the coffee cup. Number 7, what is felt, realized, and gathered at the Silencio? Number 8, did talent alone help Camila? Number 9, note the occurrences surrounding the man behind the Winkies. Number 10, where's Aunt Ruth? Another interesting thing I'll point out is on the back of that, there is no chapter listing. There are no chapter markers on this DVD. If you hit skip, that's it. You have gone back to the DVD menu. Now you can fast forward and rewind like anything else, but very interesting. David Lynch was against chapter markers, you know what I mean? He said it's always meant to be viewed as a whole, so that was his reasoning. In October 2015, Criterion released the Blu-ray and DVD release of Mulholland Drive. This was the first restoration done by them of the original 35mm negative, scanned and graded in at 4K. The 4K was then downscaled to 2K before doing the restoration. There was no 4K at the time, so they figured, why would we do that? Fast forward to 2021 when Criterion starts releasing 4K Blu-rays. They reuse the 2016 Lynch-approved parameters and apply them to the 4K scan of the 35mm negative. Then a new HDR grading was supervised by Lynch, trying to capture the theatrical experience. Now this was confirmed on Criterion's website as well as in the actual 4K itself. And as far as special features go, we do have 2015 interviews done with David Lynch, Naomi Watts, Justin Theroux, Angelo Badalamenti, and more. On-set footage, there's a deleted scene, a trailer, and while we're talking about this, let's open it up. It does include a booklet, which has a 2005 interview with David Lynch in it. Very nice, I like that that's included. Anyway, this basically includes a Blu-ray of the original scan they did in 2015, as well as their new scan. So we're going to take a look at those and this DVD scan right now. Alright, so here we are. We're taking a look. This is the opening scene. You will notice the 4K looks a little bit darker. Again, I give this disclaimer in all my videos, but this is not your TV. Although I will say it did look great on my TV. There are going to be some of you, I feel like, they're going to say, oh, the Blu-ray looks better. And I'm going to show you some examples of why I think the 4K is genuinely superior. Skipping ahead, I will say the color difference between the DVD on the bottom and the Blu-ray on the top left aren't as drastic as the color changes between the 4K and the Blu-ray. It seems for the 4K they really went with trying to get this to look like a theatrical experience. And I assume that's why it looks so dark when we look at this comparison. But watching on a 4K TV in the dark, I guarantee you won't think it looks dark. You'll think it looks vibrant. These are brilliant shots. You can almost see how oversaturated the DVD is, the original DVD down there on the bottom. I feel like some people will look at this frame comparison and say, yeah, the DVD looks the best. The thing is, you have to consider this is supposed to be a very dreamy movie. It's not supposed to represent reality. Now here, right here, perfect example of the 4K winning. Look how the other signs get completely blown out. Look at that DVD. Even the Blu-ray on the top left. Compare that to the 4K. That is a beautiful scan. We look at this, look at that strong orange hue from the fire on the 4K. Beautiful, man. and you get that view out to the city, just this first little glimpse of it. The DVD isn't bad as far as the blacks go there, but that 4K is excellent. The DVD is way brighter. And here she emerges from the wreckage. I mean, no one can tell me the DVD looks better than the 4K here. They look pretty comparable in terms of, like, darkness, but there's so many more layers in that 4K image. Honestly, no matter how you slice it, it's a beautiful looking movie. It's a beautifully done movie. Whatever format you watch it on, I approve. Again here, though, looking at that cityscape, oh, that 4K just shines, man. And we take one last look at that from another angle here. And again, the blacks on the DVD look really good too, surprisingly. But I gotta give it to the 4K on that coloring. And I'm surprised at how sharp the DVD looks too, like... But I've made this point before, I think if a movie is released on DVD while DVDs were the main thing and the production, you know, I think they look pretty good still. Now this is a shot I had to include, just because you can see how rich in color the 4K is. And usually when I do these, the Blu-ray looks blown out with saturation as opposed to the 4K. The 4K looks a little more natural for the film scan. And the Blu-rays were always really corrected. They did a lot of work on Blu-rays. And it seems like the restoration they do to 4Ks is a little more of that restoration. They're trying to make it as close to the original as possible, as opposed to, let's make it just look as good, what I think looks good, you know, as possible. Great shot regardless, though. I've always thought, like, oh man, that really takes you there. And this scene, you know I had to include this scene. Look at those different shades of green. Like, this is a shot where they look a lot more similar than, let's say, the last scene did. Look at how much detail you can see just on the DVD. Then look up and then look over to the right. I mean, honestly, if all you had was the DVD, you would be okay. But if you're a huge nerd, I definitely think you should pick up the 4K, because the 4K includes the Blu-ray. So if nothing else, you got both of these scans. So this is a great shot for why the 4K is better. And I will say, you know, it's a very weird and small example, but look at that green sign in the background. Look at it on the DVD and how blown out it is. Look at it on the Blu-ray and how blown out it still is. And then look at it on the 4K and it kind of looks natural. And then we head outside to get some daylight. And again, it looks like the DVD has like some artificial sharpness turned up, because it almost looks sharper than the Blu-ray. And this is the stuff of nightmares right here. This is what haunts me at night. And there we go. Right out of nowhere. And the funny thing is in preparation for this, I looked up a few old reviews of right when this came out. I was like, you know, I sometimes like to review old 4Ks just because I'm getting them for the first time, and I like to do these comparisons for people. See which one they think looks the best. And I saw a lot of people saying, man, throw your Blu-rays and DVDs away, this looks great. And I gotta say, it does look great. But don't throw away your Blu-rays or DVDs. They also look good, and they're of historical significance, if you ask me. But you can't look at that Blu-ray and tell me that looks bad and you need to throw it away. It's fucking crazy. This is how I feel when someone tells me to throw away Blu-rays or DVDs right here. That's me. When I heard that guy say that. Yeah, I wanted to get this scene just because you could see the brightness and the difference in the brightness on the glass and everything here. Always made me laugh, this scene, but it's like the DVD doesn't look bad, but if you look at that glass, it kind of does. You can tell the low quality, like, compression in there, as opposed to looking at the glass in either of the top ones. This one's a good one to, like, really see the dreaminess of this movie. Like, look how the sun sort of just kind of, like, washes over them a little bit. But then when some stuff is dreamy, this scene also is just, like, raw and brutal in reality. Like, great David Lynch stuff, honestly. But I gotta say, you know, like, the 4K is really excellent. You've got to see it on a big 4K TV. Now, if you're just a casual fan and you don't ever plan on upgrading to 4Ks, the Blu-ray is going to be fine for you, for sure. But at least do that upgrade for yourself. So here's where I have to mention the whole Miley Cyrus story. Supposedly, because Billy Ray Cyrus was in this movie, basically, he blames David Lynch for introducing his family to Hollywood, and and for essentially creating Hannah Montana out of Miley Cyrus, which is hilarious and awesome. Like, thank you, David Lynch, because I'm one of those people who doesn't mind that we have Hannah Montana. I know that may be a hot take for people who watch the channel, but... And we have the glorious Justin Theroux. Recently watched American Psycho. He's great in that as well. But look at Billy Ray Cyrus just like, yeah, dude, sorry I banged your wife. And this part always makes me laugh hysterically, but it was a really good scene to look at for the colors here. Yeah, look at this. It's just beautiful. Pink and goopy. And the thing is the one in the 4K more resembles closely like the Ghostbusters 2 slime. So I'm kind of here for that. There's so much saturation, it looks like fucking neon paint in the DVD. And that's the version I've always watched. I'm genuinely curious if it looked more Pepto-Bismol-y like the 4K or what we're dealing with there. And then his outfit with all this pink splattered over it is kind of a look. I mean, maybe wash your hands, but like the rest of it kind of works, you know, on that black. Yeah, dude, serving a fucking fit, dude. Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling about the movie instead of talking about the scans, but this is always one of my favorite scenes of this movie. And look at that difference in the lighting, man. Another scene I wanted to take a look at just because of the contrast and everything in this scene. Like, the DVD looks really great until you get up close and then you're like, oh yeah, that's a DVD, alright. Blu-ray is solid, but the fucking 4K, look at that. Like, I know some people might think that the Blu-ray, like, looking at these, like, oh, the Blu-ray looks better, but let me tell you, look at the shadow from the brim of his hat covering, like, the top half of his face there, and how much more exaggerated it is on the 4K. That's awesome. It's fucking mysterious as shit, dude. Another brilliant shot. The 4K is much cooler in terms of color palette. Great scene, and as I was putting this together, I was wondering, you know, what am I going to think comes out on top here? The Blu-ray, the 4K? Because a lot of times when I do these, I want it to be the 4K, and I end up thinking the Blu-ray looks better. So far, we're a little neck and neck here, but they both have perks. The skin tone here, for example, the DVD and Blu-ray look pretty identical. There's differences, but that 4K is significantly different. And I have some more examples of this we'll look at in a moment. But look at this. Look at the DVD on the bottom left. You can survive with DVDs, man. You can. If it's your favorite movie, if you're a nerd about that movie, upgrade it for sure. If it's the same price, if it's cheap, go for it. But this is why the bulk of my collection is DVDs, man. They still work. And look, you can actually see kind of like the upgrade through time and how, at least I think the 4K looks the best here. Like, there's more flesh tone in there. The DVD is very yellowy. We get more fleshy in the Blu-ray, and then we fully look like a human in the 4K. Of course, this scene had to be looked at, you know what I mean? It's a lot darker as well, but that's just because this scene is dark. If you watch it in the dark, as meant, it looks fucking great. Look at that. Man, it's like the shining on his face. So look at how that evolves again. From the DVD to being a little overblown, to being, oh, that looks really good on the Blu-ray, to, oh, I see what we're going for here. This dude has such a scary face. I love it. I love this scene, man. And this right here. Look at this man's skin. The Blu-ray, this guy has jaundice. He needs to get to a hospital ASAP. The guy down there on the DVD's doing okay, and the 4K guy looks really healthy. But my god, look at that thing. I don't know what happened to that part of the scan. Because it's really only like that in this scene where I notice how yellow the flesh is. Although I gotta say, these blues look fucking great. Look at that. Even on the Blu-ray, that looks excellent. Yeah, who? The DVD's trash? The Blu-ray's trash? What? I'm sorry. Keep your discs. Why don't you guys let me know which version you think looks better in the comments down below. And if you like this video, be sure to check out this one and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.